On the 6-month anniversary of Google's controversial platform, just when things seemed to be looking solely up, the community was rocked with another disappointing revelation. Mafia Trilogy is not dropping day and date on the platform. Now, is this one of those things that's out of Google's hands, or a major red flag that shows that Google still just doesn't get it? Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. I'm not sorry.
What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the Stadia Dosage. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know the reason. Y'all know the slogan. I'm not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right, people. For those of you that live under a rock within the Stadia community, yesterday we were kind of shocked that on the heels of us celebrating the 6-month anniversary of the platform, this revelation dropped about Mafia Trilogy. Now, for those of you that don't know what Mafia is a GTA 5 or GTA Sandlot style game that deals with mafia related things, and it's well known within the hardcore gaming community, even though it might not so much be a staple game within the within just the general gaming community altogether. It's well known within the hardcore gaming community, and it's the games have gotten some critical acclaim. You know what I mean? Now, what 2K is doing is that they're bringing back the 3 games within the Mafia series. They're remastering or remaking them. You know, I think 2 and 3 they're remastering, and then 1 they're totally remaking. And the trilogy, those games are not dropping all together. Like, I think the first one to drop is Mafia 2. And the other 2 games, or Mafia 2 dropped first, and the other 2 games are coming at a later date and time. Now, Stadia is a platform that this trilogy or games within the trilogy is supposed to be coming to as well. But the moment that they dropped Mafia 2, it didn't drop day and date in Stadia. And that threw people in an uproar within the community, because they feel that at this point in juncture, that multiplats, all of them, if they're dropping on PlayStation and they're dropping on Xbox, they gotta drop on Stadia as well. And also, in a situation where they're not dropping, or they are, that logo, that Stadia logo has to be there. Now, I'm in a different mind of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's be upfront about it. Let's hold no mysteries. I don't agree with that sentiment, because I'm looking at the business side of it, and I'm looking at some things that may be out of Google's control. I do agree there are some things that they can do better, and I'll get into that later. But I want to tackle these notions that, again, games, all these multi-plat games that are well recognized have to drop day and date, or it's a bad, every single one of them got to do it, or each one is a chink in the armor for Google. And 2, the logo is an issue and something under Google's control that they got to fix. I'll address both of those. First, let's start with the logo. All right. So I want y'all to take a look at something that Fire Marshal Bill would say. Take a look at something. This is a tweet that I sent out earlier when the revelations happened that games from the Mafia Trilogy weren't dropping day and date on Stadia as they were PlayStation 4 and Xbox. I said, here's an explanation, possibly for the missing logo. They probably dedicated the page solely to the platform you can pre-order it from. Even though Epic is held back, which is coming to the Epic Game Store as well, is 2, their pre-order page is already up. And if you go to, I don't have it in front of me, but if you go to the Mafia Trilogy page on the website, they got the Epic Game Store logo up there. But what they basically done is every single store that has a pre-order page, they have the logo there. Now, why is that? That's because y'all gotta understand what this is, first and foremost. And you gotta understand the plight or the challenges of game development in this current day and age, especially with COVID happening. By all intents and purposes, Mafia Trilogy is releasing earlier than what it's supposed to. And I'll get into that in a little bit. And it's in part, what they're doing is they're chopping it up and they're releasing parts as early as they quote unquote can to take advantage of the fact that people are suffering or having to deal with COVID and they're staying at home and they're playing more games than they ever have. So that's why the first game, which I believe was Mafia 2, is releasing now. And they're doing this because they're trying to make money. First and foremost, Google Stadia is a smaller platform. It's the ecosystem in totality is only 6 months old. We were celebrating the 6-month-old birthday of this ecosystem, the existence of it, when this all dropped. It's like we have short-term memory. They're not going to make the money that they desire by making sure that this drops day and date on Stadia. And people may say, well, then Google needs to implement the duffel bag scenario where they make this drop day and date. I'm gonna tell you why that's silly for this game. I'm gonna tell you why that's foolish for this game. But bear with me. So because of that, they're gonna hit the platforms first that are gonna make them the most amount of money. Now you guys may say, well, hold on, MM2K, because the Epic Game Store is being held back, but the logo is being shown on the Epic Game Store. Now, why is that? Again, pre-orders are a big thing for game developers. It helps them count money up front. It does wonders for studios, for publishers, all that stuff. So if you don't have a pre-order page up, even though we are supporting your platform, if I'm a game developer or if I'm a game publisher, where would I rather you go and buy my game if pre-orders are very precious to me? I want you to go to the places that have pre-orders up. And Stadia simply doesn't have a pre-order up. That's why the logo's not being shown. Now, can Stadia get pre-orders up to fight that? I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. But the simple fact that they don't have the pre-orders up running yet, and that could be some technical stuff from Stadia. It could be something that they're working on heavily, and these developers and publishers just don't care, and they'd rather you get pre-orders so they're not gonna slap the logo. That's out of Stadia's control. Stadia cannot make these people put these logos up until they get pre-orders. They control the art design and the marketing of their product. So we gotta look at everything from 5,000 feet, okay? So that's why the logo isn't there, period. Now, games not coming day and date. I get it. It's a disappointment. I understand it. But we gotta understand why, again, this isn't coming day and date to Stadia. First and foremost, read this tweet or read this press release. If I can make it any bigger, you can't see it. This is a press release from 2K. And this thing is slated for PlayStation, Xbox, Stadia, and Epic. They just did PlayStation and Xbox first for the first title. Epic and Stadia are coming later. Why? Because of COVID. Because of COVID, they didn't have time to develop and get all the other ones up and running, so they're doing just PlayStation and Xbox. And again, to what I was saying earlier, this is a cash grab for 2K because of COVID. This thing shouldn't have probably released when they released it, per what people are saying about it. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. You hold your horses. So they're reasonably going to go to the places where they can make the most amount of what? Money. Where they're gonna make their money for releasing it early is PlayStation and Xbox. Because here's the real deal, Holyfield, y'all. Fact of the matter is, because I know what Mafia is, and you know what Mafia is, and IGN knows what Mafia is, it's not a big franchise. It kind of underperforms. Case in point, Mafia 3, probably the Mafia where they plugged the most amount of money into. Between Xbox and PlayStation, only sold 5 million, as numbers indicate. Now, with that being the case, for a AAA game of that caliber to only have 5 million on multiple platforms, that's not a whole lot of money, okay? So to try to start recouping what they lost in underperforming sales, They probably said, look, everybody's at home. Let's just make this game look prettier and let's put it out there now. We were planning to drop this trilogy later in the year, but at least we could get it out on PlayStation and Xbox. We can get out there early. If this thing is buggy, don't forgive us. Let's start making some money off this cash cow. Or this potential cash cow, okay? But you gotta understand that, again, in its infancy, Stadia is not a big cash cow right now for these developers. It's only 6 months old. It's a small ecosystem. So this thing, again, was not probably supposed to release. Why do I say that? It wasn't supposed to release yet. Why do I say that? Because look, let me minimize this a little bit so Kid Smooth ain't all in your face. Kid Smooth, who buys and plays and enjoys everything. I think I just overpaid for Mafia 2. My homie Verdict, that plays and buys everything. Definitely gonna wait and see if they fix Mafia 2. Ain't even buy it. Because all I'm hearing, it's an ish show right now. Wasn't gonna buy it until I finished Mad Max anyways. And then another gamer that buys a lot of stuff, Sick Humor. He says, I never saw a last gen game run this bad. This is worse than any Switch game. And then if you go through his page, that's probably the most flattering thing he says. He says, my God, in sarcasm. He says, bro, WTF. Digital Foundry's about to have a field day with this game as far as making fun of it. What WTF? Is this cutscene performance dropping? He goes on and on and on. He says 2K managed to make a remaster with absolutely any frames. This ish is all over the place. Mafia 2. So with the verdict being in on Mafia 2's performance, by all intents and purposes, they released this version early to take advantage of COVID, and it's a buggy mess. And what either happened is 2K said people will forgive us on PlayStation and Xbox and we'll just patch it in a week or so. Google probably said, no, we're going to spare our consumers of this. You got to fix this. This is trash. Or a little bit of both. And I get it. We're thirsty for games, but we got to understand a couple of things. Because earlier I commented that even though Stadia isn't a platform where they're going to make a lot of money on sales, people were probably thinking, well, Google should have hit them with the duffel bag. Do you think Google should have hit them with the duffel bag for day and date of that? For that trash? Here's the fact of the matter. Stadia has a budget. And to me, it's more vital to their business model to lock up the big AAAs with that budget. The Cyberpunks, the Marvels, and whatever else comes down the pike. And to give duffel bags to Activision to get Modern Warfare, to get a Fortnite if possible, to get an Apex Legends. Not to waste your money on buggy trash like this. And secondly, we got to understand that Google right now is not a premier platform. What I mean by a premier platform is that it's not capable. Not that it doesn't want to do, but it's not capable of the things that the premier platforms can do. The premier platforms right now can either get all games day and date because of their consumer base, or they can hit you with a whole bunch of exclusive titles because they got studios churning games left and right. Google is not capable of that. It is only 6 months old, so it's not a premier platform. So if I'm a publisher, if I'm a developer, I am not approaching a non-premier platform with a cash grab. Even if they give me money, the amount of money that Google would have to give 2K to make up for what they can't get in sales because the platform is small would be astronomical. And it makes no sense for a game that performs and looks like that trash. I get it. Google needs games, but we gotta look beyond the first layer of the onion when we're parsing down these criticisms. It's great that everybody's vocal, but we gotta be smart and we gotta apply and surgically apply our criticisms with a scalpel. Is this the game that we want Google to waste money on that could potentially leave them short in making sure that Cyberpunk comes day and date? Do you really want them to jump out the window for Mafia trash? For the Mafia trashy? It's trash right now. It's not even worth it. Y'all saw it. Y'all need to see it again? I think I just overpaid for Mafia 2. Definitely gonna wait and see if they fix Mafia 2 because I'm hearing it's an issue right now. 2K managed to make it remastered with absolutely any frames. This issue's all over the place. Do you really want them to hit the duffels and bring you this crap show? No. If you're going to be an early adopter within the first 12, 18 months of a new ecosystem, then there are just some things that you have to be patient on. This is not a premier system. A premier system can get stuff day and date, every single thing day and date. They need to just get the big games day and date. As long as we see them doing that, then after that 12 to 18 month period, then the rest will follow. Because they're gonna say, oh crap, Modern Warfare's on there. Oh crap, Apex Legends is on there now. Oh, this thing is about to blow. We want to be part of that. They can't just throw money everywhere. And trying to be part of Mafia 2's buggy mess day and date would simply be throwing money everywhere. All right? So, that said, that's why I feel the way that I feel about this whole thing. Fine with me, it's not coming. Wait till you fix the damn thing before you even put it out there in the store, okay? That being said, I appreciate everybody's opinion on this, whether they agree with me wholeheartedly or they're a completely different spectrum on this. And it's important for all of us to be vocal because even though I feel the way that I feel and I've presented it in a way that might reach some people, I might be in the minority at the end of the day. It's important for Google to hear all the voices and hear what everybody has to say so they know what their demo or what their player base is saying and thinking. Under no circumstances do I want anybody that agrees with me to go to somebody that doesn't agree with me and tell them that they shouldn't voice their opinion. That's one thing I do not oblige, I do not agree upon. And we saw a little bit of that yesterday. And I want you to know that I am very disappointed in the fact that people that were practicing reasonable discourse, that were given reasonable things and reasonable focus points were told, shut up. In none of my videos do I tell people to shut up. I may say something may be silly, it's not logical, put on your thinking caps. But it's important for people to, again, voice their opinion so Google knows what they're dealing with. By you wanting to silence people, you're silencing this platform because it doesn't know how to navigate. And it's giving junk data just from the appeasers. So, despite what you may feel, whether you agree with me or not, never be in a state of mind that people need to simply what? Shut up. Because if you do that, you're going to make this platform do what? Shut down. And that's it from your boy MM2K. Let me know what you think about what I had to say in this long ass winded video because who cares what I think. But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, to Stadia Dosage. And with all that said, you guys enjoy the 6 months of Stadia. Fantastic platform. You have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.